Rachel's wedding day was supposed to be the happiest day of her life. She was getting ready with her makeup artist and chief bridesmaid, excited to walk down the aisle and marry the love of her life. Everyone was busy preparing for the big day, from decorating the venue to cooking the food. Rachel's family and friends were all eager to attend her wedding and celebrate with her. As Rachel got dressed and made up, she couldn't help but feel like the luckiest person alive. She had found her soulmate, and now they were about to start their new life together. But little did Rachel know, something terrible was about to happen. Something that would change her life forever. Rachel was a girl who lived a life of luxury. She came from a rich family, and her parents loved her so dearly that they provided everything for her. But despite having everything she could ever want, Rachel's life wasn't perfect. She was in love with someone her parents didn't approve of. The person she loved was Alex, a poor boy from a poor family. They met in secondary school, and their love had grown stronger over the years. Even though Rachel's parents didn't want her to be with Alex, she couldn't help how she felt. Alex was a mechanic worker, and Rachel's parents hated him because of his background. They thought he wasn't good enough for their daughter, and they would often tell Rachel to leave him alone. But Rachel wouldn't listen. She loved Alex with all her heart, and she knew that he felt the same way about her. Despite the distance between them, Rachel and Alex would still communicate with each other. Rachel would go to visit Alex at his workshop, and they would spend hours talking and laughing together. Rachel's parents would sometimes call her, telling her to stay away from Alex, but she wouldn't listen. "I'm in love with Alex, and I won't leave him," Rachel would tell her parents. "He's the only person I love, and I know he feels the same way about me," but her parents wouldn't understand. They wanted Richard to be with someone who was rich and educated, someone who could provide for her. They didn't see Alex as a suitable partner for their daughter, and they keep on arguing with Rachel about it. Rachel's love for Alex was strong, but her parents' disapproval was taking a toll on her. She felt like she was stuck between her love for Alex and her loyalty to her parents. She didn't know what to do, but she knew she couldn't give up on Alex. Rachel had come of age for marriage, and suddenly, she was flooded with suitors from big families. The governor's sons, the president's sons, and other high-profile individuals were all coming to ask for her hand in marriage, but Rachel was not interested in any of them. She told her parents that the only person she had feelings for was Alex, and she couldn't marry anyone else. Her mother was shocked and angry. "You're being stubborn, Rachel," she said. "When I was your age, I married a rich man, your father, and I've never suffered in life. Do you want to end up suffering?" Rachel stood her ground. "I'd rather marry a man who loves me and whom I love, than marry a rich man whom I don't even know if he loves me. I'd rather die than marry someone I don't love for the sake of money." Her mother's face turned red with anger. "You're my daughter, but if you ever say anything like that to me again, I'll slap you to the worst," she said, her voice rising. Rachel cried, feeling hurt and frustrated. "I'll rather die than marry anyone else apart from Alex," she said, her voice shaking. Her mother slapped her, and Rachel angrily walked away. Her mother sat down alone, muttering to herself. What kind of daughter is this? What kind of nonsense and stupid love is this? What does she think that men are? She shook her head, her anger and frustration boiling over. "Don't worry, I'll personally deal with you. You're my daughter, and I'm your mother. I'm the one who brought you into this world, and I'll deal with you." With that, she stood up and walked out of the house. Rachel, being the only daughter of her parents, started staying indoors and locking herself in her bedroom, refusing to come out to dine or eat with them, or even do anything in the house. Her parents couldn't sit down and watch their only daughter avoiding them to that extent, so they started staying at her door, pleading with her to join them in everything they were doing. "Rachel, please come out and eat with us," her mother would say. "We won't force you to marry anyone, but just try to see reason in what we're saying." but Rachel refused, telling them that she didn't want to marry any of the men who were coming to ask for her hand in marriage. Her parents kept begging her, trying to convince her to see things from their perspective. Finally, after much persuasion, Rachel started eating with them again. One day, her parents sat in their bedroom, thinking about how to convince Rachel to leave Alex, the mechanic boy. "We need to come up with a plan," Rachel's father said. "We've tried talking to her, but she won't listen." Rachel's mother nodded in agreement. "I've been thinking, maybe we should talk to her best friend Emma. Maybe Emma can talk some sense into her." Rachel's father thought for a moment, then nodded. "That's a great idea. Emma might be able to reach her in a way that we can't." They agreed to invite Emma over and ask her to talk to Rachel about leaving Alex. Not long after, Emma came to visit Rachel. And Rachel's mother saw her chance. "Emma, can I talk to you for a minute?" Rachel's mother asked. Emma nodded, and Rachel's mother explained everything that had been going on between Rachel and them. Emma listened attentively, then promised to talk to Rachel about it. "I'll try to make her see sense," Emma said. "But I have to say, Rachel is really in love with Alex. It's going to be tough to convince her to leave him." Emma sat with Rachel, chatting and laughing together, but Emma knew she had to bring up the conversation her mother had asked her to have. "Rachel, my friend, I know it's hard for you to leave Alex, but please try to see reason in what your parents are saying," Emma said. "Remember, men are not meant to be trusted the way you're trusting Alex." But Rachel wouldn't let her finish. She started shouting at Emma, her face red with anger. "Emma, is this what my parents sent you here to tell me? Or is it what my mother called you out there to ask you to tell me? You better stop and leave, and don't say anything about Alex again." Emma tried to calm her down, but Rachel was having none of it. "I love Alex, and nothing you or my mother can say to stop me from loving him. As for those men who came to ask for my hand in marriage, I'll never approve of them. It's only Alex, and only him forever." Emma stood up, feeling a bit taken aback by Rachel's outburst. "Are you asking me to leave your house because I'm saying something that could be useful to you in your life?" she asked. Rachel nodded, her anger still simmering. "Yes, I know my parents have bribed you to say something to me. But please, don't you ever try to tell me anything that has to do with Alex again. Alex is the only person I love, and I will continue to love him no matter what." With that, Rachel angrily left Emma in her bedroom, leaving her alone with her thoughts. Rachel was shocked, and she couldn't help but think to herself, "It's better Alex ended up marrying you after refusing all these rich men that are coming your way." She sighed and stood up, leaving the house. After that day, Emma never visited Rachel again. She decided to stay alone in her father's house, wondering if she would ever receive rich suitors like her friend Rachel did. One day, Rachel visited Alex in his local father's house. When she arrived, Alex praised her as the love of his life. They exchanged pleasant greetings, and Rachel told Alex about the rich men who had been coming to ask for her hand in marriage. "I vigorously rejected them," Rachel said, smiling. "I only want to be with you, Alex." Alex's face lit up with joy. "That's why I love you so much, Rachel," he said. "You're true to yourself and to me. I know you'll never leave me for anyone else." Rachel's smile grew wider. "I'll never leave you, Alex," she said. "I love you from the depth of my heart. You're the only one I want to be with." Rachel continued telling Alex about how her parents were persuading her to marry one of the rich suitors. Alex's face turned red with anger, and Rachel asked him why he looked so upset. "I know that one day your parents will convince you to marry one of those men," Alex said, his voice filled with concern. Rachel smiled and reassured him. "Nothing can ever make me marry any of those men," she said. "I only want to be with you, Alex." Alex looked at her with a serious expression. "Can you prove it to me?" he asked. Rachel nodded confidently. Yes, I can prove it to you, she said. Alex told her to go ahead and prove it. Rachel stood up, removed her footwears and said, taking an oath, if I ever stand in any altar to say, I do to any other man except you, may I not speak again, may I become dumb. And Alex smiled, hugged her tightly, holding her close to himself. As days turned into weeks and weeks turned into months, Rachel's rich suitors continued to come, but she kept rejecting them. Her mother tried everything to convince her, but all efforts proved futile. Frustrated, her mother would often say, "You're not going to stay in my house and grow old. You must marry, just like I did." But Rachel paid no attention. On the other hand, Alex was thriving with his mechanical work. He had rented a small apartment for himself, and his business was booming. One day, Rachel decided to visit him, hoping to reconnect. As she walked into his sitting room, she was surprised to see him, sitting down with another woman chatting and laughing together, oblivious to her presence. Rachel's anger boiled over. "Alex, how could you neglect me to this extent?" she exclaimed. "After everything I've gone through for you, you still have the mind to do this to me?" Alex stood up, shocked, and apologized profusely. "Rachel, my love, I'm sorry. It's not what you think, I promise to explain everything. Please, find a way to forgive me." But Rachel's anger wouldn't subside. "Explain what?" she demanded. "What do you have to explain? What else do you need to explain?" Alex continued to beg for her forgiveness, but Rachel's anger was too much to overcome. She stormed out of the apartment, leaving Alex alone in the sitting room. He watched her go, then sat back down, seemingly unbothered, and continued chatting, kissing, and laughing with her guest. Rachel returned home and went straight to her bedroom, sat down and burst into tears. She cried all day, asking herself what she has done wrong to receive such a maltreatment from Alex. "I rejected so many suitors because of him," she said, crying uncontrollably. "I disobeyed my parents. I even pushed out my best friend, all because of you, Alex," she said, still crying. "Oh God, please forgive me for disobeying my parents. May them forgive me when I ask for their forgiveness," she cried out, regretting everything she has done. She wished she could turn back the hands of time. "It's now I know men, indeed all men are evil, they can never be trusted," she said as she lay on bed to rest her broken heart. The next day, very early in the morning, Rachel went to her parents' bedroom. She knelt down in front of them and said, "Mom, Dad, please forgive me. I promise to marry any suitor that comes now. I promise to obey you both from now on." Tears streamed down her face. Her parents were very shocked to hear such words coming out from her mouth. "Rachel, are you the one saying this, or someone else?" her mother asked, curiosity edged on her face. "It's me, Mom," Rachel said. "I never knew Alex has been deceiving me all these years," she cried. "I promise I will marry any suitor that comes now." "Oh, my daughter. Thank God you have realized your mistake. We told you, but you didn't listen to us. We hold nothing against you. Thank God for this day." Her parents hugged her tightly and wiped away her tears. Meanwhile, Alex never cared to call Rachel since then, has been busy enjoying his life with so many girls. He doesn't even care to know how Rachel has been doing since then. Rachel, on the other hand, was trying to forget everything about him. It wasn't easy for her, but she keeps on trying to move on with her life. Rachel also has forgotten the oath she took, just to prove how she loved Alex. Nothing knowing she has digged her own grave. 2 months later, a wealthy businessman came to ask for Rachel's hand in marriage. Rachel quickly accepted and her parents were overjoyed. Not long, they fixed the wedding dates. Her parents were so happy that finally their daughter is getting married to one of the richest men in the state. Rachel also was happy that she is finally getting married, but whenever she remembered Alex, she will start shedding tears. She couldn't believe that finally she is going to spend the rest of her life with another man that is not Alex. Finally, the wedding day arrived and Rachel's makeup artist was preparing her for the day, together with her chief bridesmaid, Emma. Her best friend. They later reconcile. After the incident that occurred between them, It is the happiest day in Rachel's life. Her parents too were so happy for their precious daughter whom has finally accepted to marry another man aside Alex. Not long they were good to go. They set off to church to wed the beautiful bride, and the handsome groom, the pastor, started engaging them. Rachel's husband took oath first, repeating after the pastor. Soon it became Rachel's turn to speak. The pastor took the microphone and told Rachel to repeat after him. But something terrible happened. Rachel couldn't speak. Everyone was surprised, including Rachel's parents. The pastor asked her, "Don't you want to wed the young man?" But Rachel couldn't speak. Rachel tried all her possible best to say something, but she couldn't say anything. She burst into tears. She keeps on forcing herself to speak, but she couldn't. Rachel's parents were short of words. "What have come over our daughter?" Rachel's mother asked, tears streaming down her face. Rachel, however, has become dumb, as the result of the oath she took with her ex-boyfriend Alex, whom was busy enjoying himself with other women.